Hey everyone, welcome into the top 10 objections to drinking ketones from the health, fitness, nutrition industry. My name is Coach Rob DeBoer, my great friend, Mr. Dustin Schaefer, coming in live, I don't know, somewhere in California. I'm in Louisville, Kentucky, and we're excited about today's objection because it's one that there's a reason it's number one. And by the way, we did this in a very honest effort to provide value. And the feedback from all of you has been overwhelming. We've had skeptic fitness professionals say, thank you. I never heard it that way. I had these preconceived ideas, and you cleared up a lot of misinformation. Because let's make no mistake, in a day of social media, entrepreneurship, and enterprise, there's a lot of information. What we want to do is offer substance, not promote any type of sales. That is our motive, our heart. And with that, the top 10 objections comes down to number one. You know what it is. Number one objection to the health, fitness, nutrition industry with drinking ketones, the structure or business model of our company. Many of you are going to call it direct sales, multi-level marketing, network marketing, pyramid Amway structure. Call it what you want. At the end of the day, here's what we know. It's a very valid business model that has created some bad reputation based on a few bad apples. Like, let's just call a spade. When done right, it's about true substance. It's about true sales. And I would tell you our numbers have changed the narrative in the health, fitness, nutrition industry. I think social media has gone a long way in creating residual customers. One thing I know is this: we are a community-based education company with a very unique product that has multiple that I would argue very few people are very well educated about. And that's where the conversation begins. Let me start by saying this, and I'll throw it to you. Here's a litmus test of why I believe this is such an incredible opportunity, assuming what we have to say is real, assuming it's a real product with real value, with multiple applications protected by real patents that can be reproduced. Now, if that's true, imagine this. What is the objection people really have when we say the structure of the business model? Sales. People don't want to be sales. They don't want to call up their friends. They don't want to sell something. Well, here's a litmus test for what we do. How many people do you know, if you knocked on every door in your neighborhood, have tried to buy a lotion, a potion, a pill, a juice, a cleanse, a detox? I would argue all of them. I don't know anything about where everybody tuning in is living, but I would argue if you knocked on almost any door in your neighborhood, someone's tried a protein shake, or they've had a bar, or taken a cleanse, or they've had a lotion or a potion or a pill, and it was delivered by traditional business and retail or this. Now, if we had a product that was just another protein, we would have to make you a good salesman. And that is where the conversation begins, because our product is very unique, very dynamic. In fact, what we offer wasn't available and didn't exist just 8 years ago. So imagine if you knocked on a door and said, have you ever been in ketosis multiple hours, multiple days in a row? Stop speaking and get the answer. I would argue the answer is no. I would argue the answer is I don't even know what that means or what the benefit might be. And that's why this is such a powerful conversation, Dustin. And that actually is a large part why Proven chose the structure and the business model we did. We can call it whatever you call it. We call it community-based marketing and education because there's a lot of it that comes with this. And it's not about selling, but just rather telling, here's what we have, here's why it's different, and here's why it applied to you. So I'll throw it over to you.
Well, it's interesting that you say that. I agree. It's about sharing and caring, really. And when a little bit of my story, as a traditional fitness professional, health professional, I went from the gym owning or working in a gym to then working underneath somebody, paying them rent to work my own business, but spending time training, time for money. At the same time, I was constantly looking for ways to make additional income. And I had some people reach out to me in this space, direct sales space. And what I was turned off by initially was like, I'm like, why are they bringing that to me? They don't even know what it is. Like, they don't even understand it. So I was kind of like, well, that's like, I don't trust them maybe yet because I didn't understand what it was. Well, then fast forward 8 years, my wife joins the Marine Corps. We're traveling. I had to restart my practice over twice. And I'm like, I need to make extra money. But I love what I did. I didn't want to quit and do something else. And every little online thing I tried doing, Rob, I to be successful at growing an independent business, you have to invest a lot of time and energy. And most people actually fail at business. We were looking at franchising, and I had an investor. It was going to be $1.5 million. That's what my investment was going to be to franchise. And we looked at 2 years before I broke even, working 14 to 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. That was my reality. And I'm like, well, I want to have a kid. I want to have family. Like, how am I going to do all this stuff and still be passionate about fitness? That I would have to become a business person, not a fitness person. So long story short, I stumbled into a community-based marketing meeting, not Prove It, just a different random one in Rhode Island. And I was like, this is really neat. And then I looked at the product and realized, well, I can't promote that product. It's not at the standard that I'm going to go for, right? But I was like, there's something to this. So for 3 years, I literally investigated network marketing. I was researching, and I wanted to be in health and wellness because I wanted to help people with nutrition and wellness and supplementation. Like, that's something I'm passionate about. And when I found Prove It, I didn't know it was this business model. And I had a call with your good friend, my good friend, our CEO, Brian Underwood. And I go, why did you choose this model? And he said, Dustin, he goes, listen, he goes, you already told me your story. He goes, what chances did you really have of growing a strong residual income without having an infrastructure of knowing how to produce products, how to market and sell, how to be an expert at marketing, how to structure your business model? Then how do you how you didn't have that tools or enough money to go find it all? He goes, what if we can provide all that for you? At the same time, what if we can give you mentorship, focus on personal growth, which I'm very passionate about. If you're not into personal growth, then we're probably not the right fit for you. But you want to grow as a person. I want to be a better dad and a better mom. And he goes, then what if we could provide all the infrastructure so we could deliver the product for you? He goes, all we have to teach you is how to basically attract people and how to get your voice out to more people. And I go, that I can get down with. And he goes, but the most important thing when you have a product as extraordinary as ours, if we don't educate people in the modern day world nowadays, we're not going to get them. He goes, you go on Google and you can get confused in 2 minutes. So we have to really find real education with real scientists, real doctors to support this. And Rob, that's when I was like, this is where I want. This is my new home. Now, I didn't expect it to become my full time. I didn't expect to walk away from my career. That wasn't what my intention was. My intention was to create an additional income, leveraging my time. I had limited time with a newborn, a special needs brother-in-law that just moved in, my wife working 70 hours a week. I worked a lot of time a week. I didn't have that time. So I had to be really effective in the time I had. And that's when I knew that this community-based marketing, I could just be a piece of the puzzle and grow a residual income. And I was all in at that point. And the cost of entry is very low compared to a franchise. 1.5 million for the franchises that I wanted to get into versus well under $1,000 for this. I was like, it's a no-brainer in my mind.
I love it. I think we're all with this, Dustin, and I want you to run with this because you played a very instrumental part. But what I believe is oftentimes it's not the message, but sadly, and when ego, pride in the way, and that's a lot. Look, there's a lot of pride, ego. I already knew it all in the health.
Right.
Sometimes it's the messenger. It's not even the message because the messenger was the wrong person, or this overweight person was trying to tell me about a health, fitness, nutrition product. I didn't listen to the message. So
Right.
Prove It on to extreme lengths, so much so we've become kind of category king in the keto education space.
Right.
About not just the diet. We've far surpassed that conversation. It's not about a diet anymore, although super metabolically beneficial. This is about a drink. But Prove It wanted to really capitalize on providing value. They launched an initiative called Keto Academy,
Right.
which it wasn't just about the ketogenic diet. And you kind of spearheaded. You've interviewed experts around the world that had no vested interest in Prove It, that aren't part of the business model. They just were passionate about the message we're sending in their industry of human performance station. So maybe just touch on the length gone to and people you've been able to interact with to provide and value. So it no longer was the messenger.
Right.
It was all about the education.
Yeah, and that's why we have the Keto Academy and it's funny because that we're kind of like, should we keep it Keto Academy? Because it's so much more than that. You know,
Right.
it's so much more. It's really about human optimization, which is what you said, and human performance and anti-aging and longevity. And we really want to create that platform. We were very fortunate, I think, because our mission is to help people live better. And that is the reason, I think, why a lot of these scientists have come to us and wanting to speak on our stage. And you think about Dr. Dom, you think about Angela Poff, you think about Dr. Andy Capitelli, one of the leading naturopathic doctors. You think about Colin Champ. I mean, Dr. Kenneth Ford, who is one of the most extraordinary humans I ever get to spend time with. Dr. Jeff Volek, who is one of the most prolific researchers in human performance and ketosis, all are, and we have multiple brain specialists that come on and speak. Dr. Amen and Dr. Cunnane, Dr. Mary Newport, all these amazing researchers. And what's neat about this is that they're there to present what they are passionate about. We're not there to control that. We want to be challenged because we want to make it better. And what's important about this is that if you get to this level, I think what happens, true story, Rob, if I would have been introduced to Prove It 10 years earlier, I probably wouldn't have been open-minded to the person that referred me or that introduced me. The guy that introduced me to was 55 pounds overweight, goofy, and didn't know anything about keto. I was just at the time of my life going, listen, I got to change something because it's not changing for me. I got to listen to more people. I got to be open-minded. And I thank God I was, right? So I did not judge the messenger. I really was looking for an opportunity for a message that I could fit in with. And Keto Academy is a catalyst for that. And now we're expanding that out to performance. Like, what does it mean to teach your mom at 70 how to build muscle? Like, how important is that? We want to talk about happy dad. We want to talk about the big picture of helping people elevate their lives. We also spend a lot of time, Rob, and passionate about his mindset. We work really closely with Joseph McClellan III. That's somebody that's worked with Tony Robbins for 30 years. Tony's son, Jarek, we work closely with. David Goggins. I mean, Kevin Hart. I mean, it just goes. Jay Shetty and Ed Milet, and we're really putting together a full package here. It's like wellness, it's fitness, it's mindset, it's you find your own journey and your own belief in yourself, and you grow through that. So it's the total package. If you're looking for a kind of a business in a box, the only thing is you have to decide however you're going to participate as a customer and plug in, or as even a promoter that wants to do more with us, plug in. If you don't plug in, you won't get the resources. So
I've heard our CEO, Brian, I would say multiple times, he gets messages from people that, for whatever reason, they were a customer. Maybe they're still a customer. Maybe they're a discontinued customer, but they actually get their toe and plug into our community. And they say, you know what? I'm no longer with Prove It. I'm still a loyal customer or whatever. But the time I spent in the community and the education and the self-development, personal development benefits made me a better car salesman. Made me a better mom. It made me a better business owner. It made me a better franchisee. It made me a better fill in the blank. And that's something we're all proud of. I would say this. If you go back to the series, and it doesn't matter if you're a health, fitness, nutrition professional, it really is the objections from almost everyone every day. Dustin and I put it together to have fun with it. Late night David Letterman style, the top 10 list. This is number one, but very important question to consider because it shouldn't be an objection. I think the closer you look at who we are and what we do, and importantly, how we do it, the more interest you'll have in knowing more. So, Dustin, what can someone do to reach out to me, to you, to engage? Obviously, this will be shared across multiple platforms, across social media, or, there might be a complete stranger that says, something struck my chord. I like what you guys had to say. They seem very true, transparent, and straightforward. Because at the end of the day, look, this isn't just about keto or a keto product. I will tell you, we all want to age well. And aging well is about fat loss, keeping muscle specifically. It's a formula that is not just physical, but also spiritual, mental. We offer for everyone, and it's something for someone that, hey, if you just want more, like our message is better. We just want people to be better at whatever. for you. That's where the name comes from. Prove it. Everyone has. You want to lose weight? Prove it. You want to be a bad? Prove it. You want to run a marathon? You want to raise awareness for cancer research? Prove it. We create a platform for someone to prove whatever it is. So I'll throw it to you. Last comment.
Yeah, I would say this is if you're watching this right now and you're like, hey, I want to get more, I want to understand this at a bigger level, and we realize could be step one for you, is get back to whoever shared this video. If it's Rob or I, let us know. And I always tell people, like, let's have a real conversation about it. Let's be transparent. Are you like me when I was in my 30s, financially draining and not knowing how I was going to have a retirement in the fitness industry? Because they don't really provide a lot of retirements in the fitness industry, right? We got to do some work here. And I was struggling there. And so if we had to sit down and talk about it and see what this could look like for you, then let's do that. But let's have the real conversations. Last thing I would just touch on, Rob, is, and I wish I would have said this earlier, is that a lot of people say, well, the people at the top make all the money. And you and I know that that is a scheme. That's not the way this works, by no means. Now, typically, people that grow the biggest and make the biggest impact will make the most money, and that can create a lot of different ripple effects. But you and I both know on our structure, it's not designed that way. It's designed to, you make your business starts from you down, and it's designed that we're a community that's going to support you to do that. And I really think that's important that people realize that, because people came in the same day as me that haven't made nearly the income that I've made, because that's not the way we structure it. We really structured it in a way that you get rewarded for the work you do.
I love that. Dustin, I'm just going to mention this because I think it's very powerful. What are those symbols on the wall, and what is movement to $1 million? What does that mean on the wall behind you? Like, I don't know that you had that initiative before. No. Or maybe you had that vision or dream, but you certainly didn't have an opportunity that would make that a reality. I think that's part of the point. This isn't about just financial gain. It's not about physical health. This is about broadening your ability to be who you are, except better, to have more impact, except greater. I think that is so important for people to understand, lean in and listen to what we have to say, and how. Look, this can become a business that you're in it for yourself, but you're by yourself. Like, that's the thing that I've found so powerful is I don't have to know everything. We invest so much in education. We invest so much in research. I need the mechanics and the blocking of, hey, how can I help my community? How can I help my extended family? How can I help pay off some? How can I help lose some weight? Like, there are so many things that come as part of this puzzle. So mention, just touch on that. I think it's very inspiring.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's a mission to change 1 million lives. That was my first step. Once I realized that I wanted to help more people. Like, I talked to a lot of people that I just want to help more people. But I also, my wife's very financially motivated. I'm not necessarily motivated that way. I was motivated by that story of that person getting better. And I was like, I need to help 1 million people. And I want to get behind that. And I can't do it alone, though. I realized that I was limited. I spent a lot of money trying to do online marketing, internet marketing. And honestly, I didn't have that skill set. And to this day, it's not where my home is. My home is getting in front of people, being a coach, and spending time with people. So the mission to 1 million really started, and we hit the 1 million, which I'm very excited about. Now it's a mission to 1 million every single year. I want to help 1 million people every year, and that's going to be a mountain to climb. And the only way to do that is to find like-minded people that really care about people. And there's a way to do it faster than just trading time for money or just talking to your neighbor. The way we build our business gives people the tools to be able to expand their business. And they don't realize that at first, and that took me some time to understand. But then these little signs below us here are our earnings. And it's something I'm very proud of, because I didn't come into this to make millions of dollars. I came in this to help provide for my family. I came into this to help change more lives, and something that I could be passionate about. And when you know ketones and the science behind it, it's easy to get passionate about it. But that's a byproduct of the impact that we've made. And now those are signs that represent our financial wins based off of the people that we've been able to impact through my team and throughout other teams. Now I feel like I'm more in a leadership role. I get to help leaders become leaders, which is even more exciting. It's an evolution of my own journey. And so we're just looking for more people that want to participate, either as a customer or even as a promoter. And we're okay with where you start, and we're okay if you don't start. We're just looking for the right ones.
I love it. I'll finish with this. There's so many great opportunities. to, there's so many great companies, there's so many great products, but this is one of them. And if you're looking for a community, if you're looking for a group, or if you're looking for truth and transparency and the right motive initiatives, you'll find it other places. We're not that there isn't other great opportunities, but I know this is one of them. So we encourage you. If something struck a chord with you, reach out to Dustin, reach out to myself, reach out to the person that shared this with you, and hopefully at the line we will meet and we'll talk to you soon. Dustin, thanks so much for this series. Been a lot of fun. I'll throw this out there. Do you guys have any other top lists? Like, what are the top 10 fill in the blank that Dustin and I do? We've just had so much fun doing this. According to the feedback, there's been a lot of positive response. So, in the comments below, what would you like to see from Coach Dustin Schaefer and Rob DeBoer come together and put a top 10 list together? I don't know if it's top 10 things that I hate about fitness, top 10 CrossFit exercises I never want to do again. Whatever it is, let us know, and we'll see you soon. Dustin, thanks so much for tuning in and joining through this.